One of the biggest topics of discussion for Mortal Kombat 12 is going to be the story mode, because if you've been following the story, at this point, it's going to be a reboot. At the end of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, Liu Kang resets time to a point way before the first Mortal Kombat tournament, and that's where we might start the story. That's where we might spend all our time in the story. We don't know. There's endless possibilities with the reboot. So today, I wanted to talk about which Mortal Kombat 11 endings might be canon in Mortal Kombat 12 story. Before we get started, I wanted to remind you guys that my character request voting poll is still up. What I'm asking from you guys is let me know your top 5 most wanted characters for Mortal Kombat 12, how many new characters you want in Mortal Kombat 12, and which guest character do you want to see in MK12. We're trying to get this to over 2,000 votes, and we're almost there. You can make it happen by participating. Click the link down below. The last thing I want to remind you guys about is to join my Discord. If you're in the mood to talk about Mortal Kombat 12, or you're in the mood to talk about Mortal Kombat lore, anything Mortal Kombat, click the link down below and join the discussion. Remember, we're trying to make this the biggest Mortal Kombat Discord out there, and you can help make that happen by joining the Discord and joining the discussion. Again, the link is down below. So let's talk about the Mortal Kombat 11 endings. One thing that I should probably say is that I don't really like the MK11 character endings because they're pretty binary. You kind of already know what they're going to be about. It's either two things. One, I created my own utopia and I'm happy and I'm at peace, or I created a world of war and destruction and I'm happy about it because I love combat. And it's just kind of disappointing because you kind of already know exactly what's going to happen if you know the character well. But there are a few endings in MK11 that make it seem like NetherRealm is sort of teasing or testing the waters of the things that they might want to do in the future. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, I also do want to say that none of these endings would be fully canon if they came true to MK12 story, because first, it has to be that specific character in control of the hourglass, and we all know the only person in control of the hourglass as of right now is Liu Kang. But they would still come true in some way. They're just not considered fully canon, if you understand what I'm saying. Semi-canon. Let's just put it there. Semi-canon. The first one I want to talk about is an ending that I've talked about on this channel before, and that is Nightwolf's ending. In Nightwolf's ending, basically when he gets control of the hourglass, he passes on the mantle to a new Nightwolf, and it's a female Nightwolf. Now, I'm thinking that this could possibly happen in the next game. Now, obviously, again, Nightwolf is not in control of the hourglass, and it wouldn't be him passing down the mantle, but the idea of having a female Nightwolf in a future Mortal Kombat game, specifically MK12, could possibly happen, because we are at a point in the story that's taking place thousands of years before the first Mortal Kombat game, and what's to say that there wasn't a female Nightwolf at that point in time? And it would just make total sense, because we know that Nightwolf is a mantle, and anybody from Nightwolf's tribe can have the name Nightwolf. If they're going to go the route of having new versions of classic characters, there's only a few characters where that could work, and in Nightwolf's case, I think it does, and I think a lot of people would be very interested in that. The next ending I want to talk about is Liu Kang's ending. Now, surprisingly enough, Liu Kang's ending in MK11, his arcade ending, is different from his ending in Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. In his MK11 character arcade ending, he makes all of his friends elder gods to watch over the realms, including himself. But we know from MK11 Aftermath's ending, he doesn't do that. Now, he may have made his friends elder gods, but he himself is not an elder god. But in his arcade ending, he is an elder god. But we know, again, he is not an elder god at the end of MK11 Aftermath. He is very much going to be involved in mortal affairs. He's going to be training the great Kung Lao. So two things can possibly come true from Liu Kang's MK11 ending. One, characters like Raiden, Kung Lao, Kitana, Bo Rai Cho become elder gods. Or two, at the end of his arcade ending, he sort of just says that he wishes he had a peaceful life with Kitana. And this could be Liu Kang's ultimate goal for himself in the MK12 story. What if, when it's all said and done, when he's done training the great Kung Lao and he feels like he's done what he needed to do, What if he just rests in the sunset with Katana? What if that is just his ultimate goal? What if that's ultimately what he wants to do at the end of MK12? It could happen. It very well could happen. I know big time Mortal Kombat lore fans and Liu Kang fans have wanted that ending for Liu Kang ever since Mortal Kombat 4. So I really do hope that happens in MK12. The next one I want to talk about is Shang Tsung's ending. Now, there isn't much to talk about here because Shang Tsung's character ending in MK11 is basically the same ending in Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath if you choose his side. Basically, he becomes the Lone Titan, and a lot of things are under his control. That's basically it. So I'm wondering, again, I've talked about this before, my theory that I hope happens is that in MK12 story, there are two stories you could follow. At the beginning of the game, you get to choose whether or not you want to follow Liu Kang's story from Aftermath or Shang Tsung's story from Aftermath. And if you choose Shang Tsung's story, well, his arcade ending would technically kind of be canon because, well, it's the same as his MK11 Aftermath story. There isn't much to say here, but I had to include it in here because this topic is about which endings could possibly come true. And the last one I want to talk about is Kung Lao's ending. Now, Kung Lao's ending is actually kind of Liu Kang's ending in Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, because in Kung Lao's ending, the great Kung Lao never lost to Goro, and he becomes some sort of icon for everybody else to join the White Lotus. And again, Liu Kang's ending in MK11 Aftermath sort of implies that he's going to train the great Kung Lao so he never loses to Goro. But the interesting thing about Kung Lao's ending is that even though the great Kung Lao defeated Goro, there was a bigger threat that ultimately emerged, and that was Onaga. And then, of course, because it's Kung Lao's ending, he kills Onaga. But I don't think that's going to happen. But the idea of Onaga ultimately showing up as the final boss, even though you defeated Goro, could maybe happen in MK12 story. He's basically the only boss NetherRealm has yet to do. And a lot of people have been asking for Onaga to come back, and a lot of people have been wondering, when is Onaga going to show up as the main boss again? And maybe this could be the time where Onaga gets to do that. The ending is implying, Kung Lao's ending is implying that even though the great Kung Lao never lost to Goro, at the end of the day, there was an ultimate threat, and that ultimate threat was Onaga. So maybe, again, that could happen in MK12. However, we don't know about that, and we're just going to have to speculate until we see the story mode. What are some of the theories that you have for MK12 story? Which endings do you think could possibly come true in MK12 story? Let me know in the comments below. Expect an announcement for my streams to be coming up very, very soon. I'm basically almost there. Just give me a little bit more time. I promise you guys, you're going to hear news about that very, very, very soon. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a big thumbs up and subscribe for more Mortal Kombat content. I'll see you guys in the next video.